Hogan takes 5 and Labuschagne reaches 1,000 runs as Glamorgan dominate. Glamorgan reached the midpoint of their match against Worcestershire in a strong position. 449 on the board with their first innings effort. The visitors had struggled to 191 for 5 by the end of day 2, and it was Barnard and Morris who started on day 3, looking to guide their team past the follow-on. Their first target was 200, but with that milestone reached, an attempted quick single led to Morris being run out for 7 by Billy Root. Cox was the new man in, and he and Barnard struck a few boundaries. Barnard moved to 50. But with 234 runs on the board, Hogan made the breakthrough, trapping Barnard LBW for 56. D'Oliveira and Cox scratched around for a few overs, but then the former clicked into form, striking both Wag and Doothwaite to the rope. The second batting point was secured, but a few overs later Doothwaite claimed his second wicket of the match, Cox nicking off to fall for 12. At the lunch break, Worcestershire were 284 for 8, just 16 away from avoiding the follow-on. Leach and D'Oliveira moved the score to 300 and thus into the safe zone shortly after the interval, but Hogan made it a short celebration as he removed Leach, caught behind for 16. D'Oliveira was joined by Finch, and the former decided to take the Glamorgan attack on. He brought up his 50 and continued to strike 4s at will, as first Worcestershire moved past 350 and then the 50 partnership was brought up. D'Oliveira smashed Hogan for another 4 to bring up his first 100 of the season. But later in the over, the 27-year-old was out, caught and bowled by Hogan to give the veteran bowler a 5-fer. 68 for the final wicket, as Glamorgan's first innings lead was taken down to 79. Hogan finishing with figures of 5 for 62. They took tea, and at the resumption, Selman and Morgan came out to lead the reply. They suffered an early setback as Morgan was caught behind off Leach in the opening over for a duck. Thereafter, however, new man Labuschagne, who'd celebrated receiving his Glamorgan county cap earlier in the day, came out all guns blazing and struck 5 quick boundaries in succession. A delightful cover drive brought up the 50 partnership. And a few overs later, Labuschagne hooked Morris for 4 to become the first man in the second division past 1,000 runs this season. It was only a matter of time before the Australian had his 9th score of 50 or over, and the 100 partnership followed. Both men pressed on to the close, and at stumps they'd stretched the lead to 216. Glamorgan 137 for 1, Labuschagne not out on 90, and Selman unbeaten on 42. It'll be a question of when to declare on the final day now for the home team as they go in search of the win.